Hey everyone, welcome back to All Things Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani made his Dodgers pitching debut last night. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan Ruiz, and today we are here to talk about Shohei Ohtani making his pitching debut for the Dodgers. It's the first time he's pitched since August 2023. That was back with the Angels, back when he was their ace pitcher. And that is the same potential that he brings to the Dodgers. We just need to be patient with him and give him the time to be healthy so that he can reach that level of consistency and success for the Dodgers. Really, it got me emotional just thinking about what he stands for, seeing him top step in that dugout ready to take the mound, and then going up there, just warm up pitches. The whole sequence was emotional for me. Thinking about these are dreams and goals that he has had since childhood. We know that he mapped them out. He said when he was going to accomplish them, and then he went out and accomplished each one, and he's continuing to do so, despite the comments and opinions that he's surely received throughout his life. He's done what he has dreamed of doing, and he is still going. So to think of what he means for this game and how he's supported the rise of baseball in these past few years, and also thinking about what he stands for as an icon, as an inspiration for young players, and really anybody who wants to accomplish something, who has a dream, and might feel hesitant or concerned about their capacity to reach that goal. He stands as a reminder that if we set our mind to doing something, if we are resourceful and determined, driven, we can reach our goals. So it was such an amazing sequence. Dave Roberts, Max Muncy both mentioned that they were kind of fanboying a little bit. They know what he's capable of, but to see it happen on their team, in their dugout, right before them, even they were awestruck by what Shohei Ohtani has to offer. Even him coming out of the dugout for the first time as a pitcher, people were standing, people were recording, everybody wanting to capture this historic moment of him returning back to the mound. So something that I will never forget. It's just such an amazing moment in Dodgers history. Just to summarize his outing, Shohei Ohtani went only one inning. We know he's ramping up. He gave up 2 hits, and that led to 1 earned run. So, let's break down the good, let's break down the bad, and then we'll talk about what we want to look for in his next outing. So first, the good. Our standout stat of the day, 100.2. What does that stand for? That is the top velocity that Ohtani hit in miles per hour in his outing last night. We were worried about the velocity and how he was going to adjust after these surgeries. Was he going to return to his 2021 and 23 form of just blowing 100s by batters? And of course we have the control we're going to talk about later. But was he going to reach that velocity of triple digits that he had before in his pre-surgery form? In the sim games that he's been throwing, he was kind of sitting 94, 95 miles per hour. And even Shohei Ohtani mentioned being surprised that the ambiance, the fans, that pressure, the anxiety, nervousness, all of that kind of factored into the increased velocity that we saw. But first pitch, middle of the zone, 98 miles per hour. I remember I was eating dinner while watching the game. I smiled, turned to my parents, and I said, he's back. Just to see that 98 and know that this is his first pitch back, of course he can develop and grow and reach that 100 again. And actually he did later in the outing. So 100.2, that was such an encouraging sign. That's our standout stat of the day. Great implications of what is to come as Shohei continues to progress. Our next good is the soft contact that he induced. All of the hits that the Padres got off of Shohei were softly hit. You can tell they were kind of off-balance swings. The Machado sac fly, the Tatis hit, first batter of the game, even the outs that Ohtani recorded, we had a couple ground outs that were just hit on the ground because of the movement of his pitches. So great to see. A lot of half-hearted swings. So that means that things are working when it comes to the movement of his pitches. He threw a lot of sweepers. That was the majority of what he threw. So to know that from a batter's perspective, it's keeping them off balance, it means a lot of good things for where Ohtani is in his development coming off of these surgeries. Speaking of the Machado at bat, that definitely should have been a strikeout. And you can see the reaction coming from Ohtani. That's our third good standout thing from his outing. I like to see Shohei expressive. Even that one play where it was the sac fly, Tatis runs home, barely slides his foot in. You can see Shohei pointing like, yes, he's out. Of course, the umpire calls him safe, and instantly mood changes, roller coaster of emotions. He's saying, nope, that was the wrong call. I'm glad to see it. I like seeing Ohtani interact with the game in that way. What is one thing that we are kind of concerned about? Not really. It is Shohei. You could see him thinking after every single pitch. So we know he's analyzing what he's doing. The training staff, manager Dave Roberts, they're all going to break down his outing and help him out to improve. But that would be his command. He had a lot of glove side misses. You can see in this heat map, he seemed to be overthrowing a little bit. Could be nerves, could be the pressure. This was a sellout game. Everybody's watching this game. Everybody wants a piece of this action, of this history. So of course that pressure is going to affect him in some way. Came out in the velocity. It may have come out a little bit here in the command. So this somewhat lack of command, it almost led to a hit by pitch against Luis Arraez, and it also possibly led to some easy takes from the right-handed batter's perspective too. So something to look for in the next outing. Is he able to dial it back in? Middle of the zone, top of the zone, bottom of the zone, just a better feel for where the strike zone is, and will he be able to handle those nerves, that pressure, better in his next outing? So that's one thing to look for. What's another thing? Well, number one priority for Shohei, health. Dave Roberts today mentioned that Shohei was feeling just some normal pitching fatigue after his day of returning to the pitching mound. Totally expected. Nothing really concerning there as far as what Dave Roberts revealed to the press. So just monitoring that in the coming days. They said that it was going to be a touch and feel kind of situation to figure out when Shohei's next outing will be. He did mention possibly a week from yesterday, but it could be a little less, could be a little more, all depending on the way Shohei's feeling, because after all, he is in the lineup every single day, so he's doing a lot more than a normal pitcher would do. We also want to look out for the velocity, so is that going to stay high? That was actually surprisingly high, so will it stay there or will it kind of back down a little bit? Will the command improve like we mentioned? And how many innings? How will his progression continue? Will it be just the one inning so that he settles in and becomes more accustomed to the fact that he is a pitcher again? Or will they stretch him out to go 2 and then eventually 3 so that he's going a full maybe 6 or 7 innings is what they can maybe expect from him closer to end of July, possibly August would be my projection. So it'll be interesting to see that ramp up and how they decide those things. Well, our question for the day is, what are your thoughts on Shohei Ohtani's outing? What were your reactions to seeing him on the mound again? And how important do you think he'll be as a pitcher later down the line this season? I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel if you want me to continue making Dodgers content. Thank you everybody for watching. My name is Alan Ruiz. Go Dodgers! And I will see you on the next episode of All Things Dodgers.